NSA Houston, and welcome to another episode of the President's Podcast. The sole goal is to be able to open doors and bring you more value as we explore and connect with organizations and presidents across Houston and the world as it comes into play for how we can help you build your business, build your career, and your connections. There's so much out here in Houston that we should be able to connect with and explore. And so this podcast does just that. I'm really excited for you to be able to meet our guest today. And I think you're going to learn a lot about a different industry and really open your eyes on what is out there that you might not have considered and that you may actually need to. So everybody welcome Amanda to our podcast. Amanda, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Sherbondy. I am the Chief Operating Officer with the Houston Apartment Association. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait to have this chat.
Yeah, no, I was looking forward to when our current president, Beth Rouhani, introduced us, and she said, you got to talk to Amanda, and you guys share some history and, industries that you work in. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you got to be. And by the way, This can be about your role with, at work or organizations you volunteer in. So it's open just to get to know you a little.
Okay. Well, I am a native Houstonian, was born in 1973, haven't left. Love Houston. Houston is my jam. I travel a lot, and I go to other places that are beautiful. They're gorgeous, better weather. I have curly hair, so I'm always looking for the least amount of humidity possible. But Houston's my home. I love it. Go Texans. I am 20 years married. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary, my husband and I.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yes, that I will take. Because as we all know, marriage is not easy. But man, he is my person for sure.
Awesome.
I do have a 35-year-old daughter. We celebrated her birthday yesterday, in fact. So I started out, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a little girl. They ask you those questions. What do you want to be when you grow up? And it was always a lawyer. So as I got into my schooling, of course, after I graduated high school, my world changed because I became a single mother. So it became difficult for me to try to challenge, with the challenge of being a single mom and then trying to go to school. So I ended up going to paralegal school at the Texas School of Business. I earned my certification there. And then while I was going to school, my dad had a connection with a lady that was managing an apartment community and needed a part-time leasing agent on the weekends. And so he's like, you should do it. So I went, got the interview, got hired on the spot, did that, and I got immersed into the apartment industry almost immediately. So they said there's a saying about the multifamily industry: once you get in, you can't get out. I can attest that that is true. So I started out as leasing, quickly became, went ahead and finished school at the same time. So it kind of related because you're dealing with contracts, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of legal landlord-tenant law. So it was kind of a good little relationship there for a while. But then I realized I was really good at it and I liked it. So I became assistant manager. Then I moved on to corporate doing leasing and marketing training. And then I became involved with the Houston Apartment Association, which is who I currently work for. So I became a member and I got on their community outreach committee. I was on the resident relations committee. And then an opening came open here at the association. And a shout out to Mindy Price, if you guys know her. She recruited me and I was hired, and I've been here for 19 years now. So it's been an incredible journey. This multifamily industry has raised me. It's provided a great lifestyle for me, was able to help me raise my daughter. It's been a wonderful experience so far. I'm truly blessed.
Wow, what a journey. It's always interesting how people bob and weave and how things find you. It's not always that you're looking for them, but I really believe they find you.
I agree 100%. That's exactly what happened with me.
Yeah. Well, okay, so now we know a little bit about you. Let's explore a little bit about the organization. Tell us, what can people see? How can people get active? What is it? All the things that you'd like.
Sure. So we are an apartment association for apartment owners, multifamily developers, anyone who has anything to do with an apartment. And that could include being sales, like supplier partners. We've got like painters, pest control, landscapers, anything that can service an apartment community, they can also be members. So it's a trade association. So, and it's part of basically a federation. So members can join the local affiliate, which is where with Houston chapter, and then they immediately become a member of the Texas Apartment Association and the National Apartment Association. So it's 3 in 1. If you are interested in joining an association like a multifamily association, you would join your local affiliate there, and then you would have access to your state and national resources and benefits, and there are a ton. So our main focus here at the Houston Apartment Association is to advocate and educate anybody who works in the industry. Leasing consultants, bookkeepers, managers, maintenance technicians, marketing and leasing professionals, supervisors, owners, developers. Like, they can all get a great benefit and value from what we provide. So as far as education goes, there's everything from we have a credential program that is basically hosted by our national organization, the National Apartment Association. So you can get a credential in a leasing professional. You can be a certified manager. You could be, or a certificate, I should say. You can get a certificate to be a maintenance technician and to be a supervisor. And then there's tons of other education offerings that we have, such as marketing, how to, what are we doing with this AI, mental health. I mean, it is a plethora, because these apartment managers deal with residents on a day-to-day basis, and they have, they can have problems with some of their residents, and being able to know how to navigate their way through that is truly beneficial for them and for us to be able to provide that information for them, so that they're safe and they feel comfortable in their work and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. As far as the advocacy side, that's a huge part of what we do. We do have a political action committee at the state, national, and local levels, and people can join that too, for us to be able to support and contribute to representatives that represent us locally, state, and national, and they can, we support their campaigns and help them understand what we need as apartment owners and developers. We want to partner with them on how to provide affordable apartment housing, quality apartment housing. All of that is very important. It's a basic need. And so we work together with those legislators to make sure that it's an even playing field, of course, but we're also in a position to where we can provide that affordable housing and make sure that we're all providing something that is, again, a basic value to humanity, really. So we are the largest. I always tout that, because we have almost 750,000 apartment homes just in the greater Houston area. Lots and lots of residents, families that we kind of oversee. And then with that, of course, we also have our supplier partners that I mentioned earlier, like the people that want to do business with those apartment owners and managers and operators. And so the association, for them, for their benefit, is for us to connect them together to make sure that they can do business together. And we provide the networking for that. We provide the advertising for that. We have an annual education conference and trade show that we do every year to bring that group together. We have almost 3,000 people that attend that. It's incredible, the amount of work that we do, but mostly advocacy and education is the number one thing.
Wow.
And of course,
Amanda,
the
I have to
networking.
say, I'm
That's the fun
impressed
part.
by. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the networking is definitely the fun part. That's the fun part of our job.
Yeah, it sounds incredible with the size and then how well-rounded it is. And for those of you listening, think about the possibilities. If you're looking for a career change, or if you're already in the apartment industry, or you just want to get connected, and it sounds like so much opportunity out there if you're looking for it. Amanda, tell us a little bit, if people are interested after you just shared what it is, how should they reach out, join a mailing list? What can people do to get more info?
So, like me, when I started, I didn't have a degree yet. So if you don't have to have a whole lot of education, you just need to have the gumption, and then just the willpower to be able to jump into the industry. There's so many different aspects of what we do that takes different types of talents. If you like leasing and talking to people and showing people, around and just chatting with them and getting to know them, you could be a leasing agent starting off. You'd get a discount on your rent with some of those management companies. They will offer that as part of their benefits package. But also maintenance technicians, they're able to come in and, like, if they're anything, if you can fix something, we want you. Because there's lots of training that we can provide. Some of them do require as far as maintenance techs, they do require certifications such as your HVAC. And so you might need that, but a CPO, which is our certified pool operator, like learning how to operate and maintain a pool, which most apartment communities have. But then also, if you want to sell to apartment owners, you can do that too. If you've got a product or a service that you could provide to an apartment community, I mean, we're starting to see crazy things like they're offering rental space in their apartment communities for massage therapists, facial, how do you say that?
Esthetician.
Estheticians. I always
Yeah.
get tongue tied with that. And that, there's incredible opportunities that people are just getting, kind of getting creative with the spaces that they have on their communities and being able to make that a value for the residents. So it's a win-win there. So basically, anybody who can provide a service to an apartment community or work in an apartment community, that's definitely something that we can do. We do have a job board that if you go to www.haaonline.org and click on jobs, you'll be able to see all the jobs that are listed, not just in Houston, but the whole state. It'll let you know where there are job offerings. And there's everything in there from, again, leasing all the way up to supervisors, presidents, CEOs of companies. Like, there's different levels that you're as far as opportunities go there. So yeah, check it out and see what you can find. We do, if someone is interested in leasing and breaking into that world, we do offer a Leasing 101 course where we give you a day and a half of content and talking about the lease contract, how to lease, different techniques you can use, retention. Once you get the resident in, you got to make sure that you keep them there. So there's different techniques for that, marketing your property, and then of course the maintenance aspect. That's a whole other gamut of different types of people that we're looking for. So if you're interested, come on over. We'd love to have
There
you.
you go. Yeah, and what I love about it too, as you described it just then, it sounds like you're running a business, the marketing side, the sales side, right? And many of
Mhm.
our members at National Speakers Association in Houston are running their own business. So let's continue that thread, shall we? Because I'm kind of curious where there's some synergy together.
Yeah.
Because NSA, as we talked about before this call, just kind of touching base, full of speakers, and that could be a keynote on stage, coaches that work one-on-one, trainers, authors, pastors. We have a really talented comedian, Nick Morrison. He just published a top-selling book. And so we've got a wide range of people that are shaping the world with their words in one form or fashion. And so let's sit in that for a minute, thinking about the business you just shared, thinking about what you do with your education. What do you think are some synergy pieces that we can help your organization and vice versa?
That is a great way to put it. As far as the synergy goes, because of the education that I just talked about, we have a very healthy list of programming and content that we offer all of our members. So that means we need speakers, we need trainers, we need people that are going to be experts in their field to talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about. And this doesn't necessarily have to relate to apartment multifamily industry, but they're also looking for those soft skills, motivational type of speakers, because it's not, we want to have fun too. Like I mentioned earlier about the AI, that's really booming in our industry because that's real. I mean, it's becoming something that I think it touches every industry, but we're really starting to really focus in on that piece of it to see how it can benefit us and our residents and all of our stakeholders, of course. But yes, we're constantly looking for good topics, good speakers that can present. I mentioned the annual conference that we do. We have a keynote opportunities there, but also with our breakout sessions that we host. It could be anywhere, again, from marketing to maintenance. It just depends on how we can figure out that niche is, how that could fit. But yeah, there's also plenty of other opportunities throughout the whole year where we can kind of work together. And if we are always getting approached by speakers going, hey, I'm a speaker. Here's my portfolio. We look at it, and sometimes we'll find things in there that they didn't even realize could relate, and that we could work together on. So people like fresh topics. They want something that's interesting, something that's exciting, engaging, of course. So we're always looking for that element as well. We do have an education advisory committee. So it's a committee that kind of oversees all of the content that we provide and all of the programming. So you would go through them, you would have they do a request for proposal there, and you would turn that and fill that out and turn it in. And then the whole committee will look at it, and they'll decide who gets to come out and speak to our groups.
Yeah, wow. Look at the wide open friendship collaboration. I love
Yep,
that. And so
definitely.
if people did want to, because I want to make sure we don't cause chaos for you or your organization. So if people are listening to this podcast and they're like, yes, I want in on this, how do I meet that group? What would you like them to do? Reach out to a specific email, specific person, or just
Yes.
us and we can connect? Let's make a plan so they know that there's not a shotgun approach with people everywhere.
Sure, sure. Yeah. We have a vice president of professional development here at the Houston Apartment and Association. Her name is Lauren Reagan. She's been with HAA over 10 years. She's got well-rounded um, little bucket of talents in her portfolio. But reach out to her. Her email is L Reagan, LRAGIN at haaonline.org. Reach out to her and let her know that you're interested in speaking to our group, and she'll take it from there. Like she'll kind of, provide as much information as you can, your websites, if you've got them, socials, and then she can kind of peruse it just to kind of do a quick search to see if it is something that could work out for us, and then go from there.
Yeah, okay, great. So nice and simple. Thank you for that. Love it. That way people can move forward and still collaborate. And you've already been so generous with how, we can support HAA and how opportunities y'all have. I'd also like to toss out there if I imagine you're in all those different jobs that you mentioned, you'll have to do either presentations or speaking. And let's be honest, most people don't like public speaking, and that's kind of
Right.
it's kind of our jam. A lot of people like to at least speak in some fashion. So we do have an NSA Academy we offer on how to build your speaking business. Now, I
Mm,
will say, if people need to practice how to speak, like put talks together and do examples in front of and get critiqued, that's going to be more Toastmasters, our friends over there. And we're happy to, we collaborate with a lot of groups. So if you have someone that says, hey, I really want practice, let us know. Feel free to email me or somebody on the board like Beth or Deborah, and we can get them connected to Toastmasters, because this podcast is really starting to build relationships like that. Because it's not about if you have to join an SA, it's more about what do you need and who do we know to help with that. And so Toastmasters is a piece. So NSA Academy is one layer. And then also too, you mentioned all the education pieces. We are very good friends with the Association for Talent Development, which is dripping with trainers,
okay.
facilitators. It's actually where all my roots came from. So I've been in talent development for 15 years. So that's my hub. And then NSA, as I came out and started my own business, that's where all that info really was helpful. And how do I sell something? I've only been in corporate. What do I do with this? So yeah, open door. Feel free, if you're looking for something or as your conference comes up, we're happy to share. Also, if you let us know, again, somebody on the board, we have access to our LinkedIn group that's only for NSA members, and we post job opportunities all the time in there. And we'd be happy to help give you more to pick from and some ideas of, fresh topics, like you said.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, in my realm of what I do here at HAA, I'm the liaison to our product service council. Those are our supplier partners that I mentioned earlier. It's a good group, about 25, 26 individuals that volunteer their time, their talent, and they kind of help mentor other suppliers on how to break into the industry, but they need their blades sharpened as well. So we
Sure.
provide them with supplier education. We provide 2 programs a year, and we're always looking for topics there. I can say yesterday we had our kickoff meeting with our product service council, and one of the topics that they are craving is Public speaking. That's number one on the list.
Is this like timely or what, Amanda?
Exactly. Yes. So I did tell a couple of people that I was going to chat with you today, so they're excited to hear the how this turns out. But it does sound like definitely something we can work together with, because it's not just that; it's the AI piece, how to implement that into their sales and their marketing. Like there's all kinds of different topics that they want to do, but I think anybody can benefit, whether they are trying to be a public speaker or not. When they're doing a presentation or they're doing a pitch, they need to have those skills. So, and being able to project their voice and things like that. So those type of things, we're definitely interested that we could collaborate together and come up with something amazing that we can offer to our members, for sure.
How about this? How about you and I keep our ears open, and I will let you know, and I'll inform our board about opportunities. I'll kind of collaborate with them at our next board meeting, and then we'll just stay in contact. I know you introduced me to someone on your team also, so I'll follow up with her, and let's see how we can work together. Because if it's
Yeah.
not us, it may be someone else we know because of this podcast. We're into HR Houston, we're into organizational development, the coaches. IREM Houston was on here with Nicole Foster, the president. So lots of doors. I say it's the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And I've always been interested. I just never, you just get in your groove and you just kind of go,
Yes,
okay, well, I'm going to go to another association and look at their topics and see what they're
right.
doing. And, you kind of steal from one another. But it'd be nice if we can get back into that. Like we started this and then have other associations come to us to
Yeah.
spread that word. Because yes, if you are a speaker for us, we do have a lot of other associations that look at our programming and our content, and they reach out to speakers that way too. So it could open up a whole other world in the multifamily industry for any speaker that wants to, it's speaker or trainer that wants to get involved. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Wow. So much opportunity. And that's how this podcast was born, because Houston's the fourth largest city in the nation. We should be uniting and building our city and having opportunities just pour into people.
Mhm.
So, wow. How
Yeah.
exciting. Okay.
Yeah,
So I know we've been through some good content. How might people reach out to you if they want to follow you on LinkedIn or just like learn
sure.
more about you?
Yeah. So it's Amanda Sherbondy, Sherbondy. And or you can also go to our website too. But my email is asherbondy@haaonline.org. Be happy to connect with anybody who reaches out. Even if it's not anything that I can necessarily help with, I love collaborating. That's one of my just one of the innate parts of me is I just love being creative and making things better, trying to figure out how, yeah, we've got this and it's wonderful, but how can we up it a notch or
Mhm.
two? So yeah, definitely would love to collaborate.
Okay, great. All right. So our last question's on the fun side. So are you ready for it? It
I think
is,
so.
tell us a little bit about like what is this special talent that you have that maybe not a lot of people know about, just so we can get to know you in a little bit of a fun personal side.
Yeah, this is always a tough question for me because I am a Gemini, so there's two of me. And that means that I'm really a jack of all trades, but really a master of none because I get involved into something. I mean, it could be photography. I'm like, I'm
Mm.
gonna go and be a photographer. And I'll buy all the equipment and I'll take the classes and I'll start shooting and do all the things. And then I'm 6 months later, it's like, oh, my camera's dusty, because I've moved on to something else.
Yep.
So, but one of the main things that I do right now at this season in my life, I love repurposing things. So I love
Mm.
antiquing. I love looking at old 100+ year old products that people used 100 years ago that are still working today. That just fascinates me. I may not buy it, but it's just looking and touching and seeing how it works and learning about how the engineering was so creative back then and where it's come to today. It's not that much different. It just looks different. It's plastic now versus steel, those kind of things. But that's really where I am right now is I just love upcycling. If you can use something twice, I can sleep well. I'm happy. So
I,
yeah, I guess that's in a nutshell, that's where I am right now.
that's really cool. Do you repurpose, like you actually have projects where you like strip down paint and repaint
Yep.
and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I,
I recently bought an antique toilet. So this is a wooden toilet
oh, wow.
outhouses that,
Yeah.
yes, disgusting, right? But it is solid wood. It was in great shape. And I turned it into vanity seat. I stripped it out, put a new top on it, and it looks great. I love it. I should
That's
take a picture of it
amazing.
this morning. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
I'd love to see a picture of it.
yeah. I'll send it
Well,
to you.
yeah, please do. Amanda, thank you so much for your time, not just for your personality and energy, but also the wide open landscape. I really feel like you're open to collaborate. You can definitely sense that because there's so much possibilities, but not everybody sees that. So particularly would look for people that can understand that because you're leading an organization. And if it's at the top, it'll be throughout the body of it. So thanks for all of your expertise. If you're listening on the podcast, feel free to follow Amanda. And before I finish out with like a conclusion, any other last thoughts you'd like to share with our audience?
No, I just want to thank you. Everything, all your questions were great. You were wonderful. Yeah, if you guys are out there looking for speaking opportunities, please reach out to either I or Lauren, and we'll be happy to help.
Oh, wonderful. Well, hey, I'm glad we're in the same Houston or the same
Yeah,
city of Houston, and
that's right.
FIFA is coming. So there's lots
Yes,
that's going to
yes.
happen in our city in the next couple of months. Well, if
Well,
you're listening,
hopefully
thank you
on
for tuning in.
Sunday we get a win from the Texans.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes. And the Texans too are on a, well, I don't know if they're on a roll, but they definitely won the game last night. So we'll take
Yeah.
it, right?
Right, exactly.
Oh, well, if you're listening, thanks for tuning in. Please watch for another episode the next month as we podcast, re-release them once a month with another president of another organization. And all in the effort of building value for you, breaking down doors, helping collaborate, and raising our city. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Go Texans.
Go Texans. I love it.